There's a street near you where every restaurant is packed. Warm lights, full tables, owners who look like they've got it all figured out. And walking past, a quiet little thought shows up. I could do that too. But there's a second street you never get to see. Call it the graveyard. Every restaurant that opened on that same corner, chasing that same dream, and quietly died. Nobody photographs the graveyard. There's no magazine cover for it. So you judge your odds from the winners and never once count the dead. That little trick your mind just pulled has a name. Survivorship bias. It's not some rare glitch. It's one of dozens running quietly all day long, steering your money, your career, who you trust, what you believe. Tonight, we're going to catch your own brain in the act. Because once you can actually see these bugs, they lose most of their power. You like to think you're the rational one. Calm, logical, weighing the facts before you decide. None of us really are. Your brain wasn't built to find the truth. It was built to keep a nervous animal alive on a dangerous plane. Quick, gut-level shortcuts. Follow the crowd. Fear the loss. Trust the confident voice. Out there, those shortcuts kept you breathing. In a world of money, headlines, and big decisions, the same shortcuts quietly backfire. A writer named Rolf Dobelli spent years collecting these errors, one by one. And the conclusion he lands on is strangely freeing. You don't have to become a genius to live a wiser life. You just have to make fewer stupid mistakes. It's far easier to dodge stupidity than to chase brilliance. Cut out a handful of predictable errors, and better decisions show up almost on their own. So the goal here isn't to make you smarter. It's to make you harder to fool. Starting with the 3 lies your own eyes tell you. So back to that graveyard for a second. Survivorship bias is simple. The winners are loud. The losers are silent. The one company that made it gets the magazine cover. The 1,000 that tried the exact same thing and folded say nothing. The college dropout who became a billionaire gets a documentary. The millions who dropped out and struggled? No film about them. So the whole world looks far easier than it actually is. You see the lottery winner on the news. Never the millions holding torn-up tickets. So here's your move. The next time you feel that pull of I could do that too, go looking for the graveyard on purpose. Ask one question. Who tried this exact thing and failed? Find those people. Their silence is the data everyone else is missing. Now, once your eyes let something in, your brain does something even sneakier with it. The moment you decide you're right about something, a switch quietly flips. This stock is a winner. That person can't be trusted. My plan is working. From then on, your brain takes a side. Every fact that agrees with you gets welcomed in like an old friend. And anything that disagrees, it gets argued with or just never noticed at all. Dobelli calls this the mother of all thinking errors. Confirmation bias. It's why 2 people can watch the very same news and both walk away feeling proven right. You're not weighing the evidence anymore. You're building a case for what you already believe. And here's the scary part. It feels exactly like being right. So here's the habit that quietly separates clear thinkers from everyone else. Go hunting for the evidence that you're wrong. Write down what you believe. Then ask out loud what would prove this false. And then go looking for exactly that. It stings a little. That sting is the feeling of you actually learning something. But even with clean evidence, your mind can't resist one last temptation. To spin it all into a story. We're story machines. Hand your brain a pile of messy, random facts, and it can't stand the mess. So it stitches them into a neat little tale with a cause and a moral. A company does well, and instantly there's a tidy reason. Bold vision. A brilliant leader. Half of it was luck and timing. But luck makes a boring story. The news does this to you every single night. Not 1,000 random things happened. Instead, a clean narrative. Cause then effect. And your own life is the biggest story of all. Looking back, everything seems to have led right to here on purpose. It didn't. You just quietly edited out the chaos. Stories feel true. That's exactly what makes them so dangerous. So when a story feels too clean, too satisfying, get a little suspicious of it. Ask yourself, what actually happened here, and what did I add to make it make sense? So far, your brain has bent what you see and what you believe. Next, it comes for your decisions and your money. You're 2 hours into a genuinely terrible movie. Do you walk out? Almost nobody does, because you already paid. You already sat through 2 hours. Leaving feels like waste. So you stay, and you lose 2 more hours on top of the money. That's the sunk cost trap, and it runs a whole lot more than movie nights. The relationship that died years ago. But look how long we've been together. The degree you don't even want anymore. But I've already put in 3 years. The failing project at work. We've spent too much to stop now. Here's the hard truth. That time and money are already gone. Spent. Sunk. No decision you make today can bring a single hour of it back. So a clear thinker asks just one question. Knowing what I know now, would I choose to start this again today? If the honest answer is no, then the smart move is to stop. Now, the only thing that counts is where it goes from here. But if that's so obvious, why is it so brutally hard to walk away? Because underneath it sits a bug wired even deeper. Say I hand you $100. Feels good, right? Now say you lose $100 instead. That feels awful. But here's the strange part. Not equally. Losing hurts about twice as much as winning feels good. That's loss aversion, and it quietly runs your life. It's why you hold a sinking stock, praying it climbs back, instead of just selling. It's why you cling to the sunk cost. Quitting feels like locking in a loss. It's why you won't leave the safe, boring job for the thing you actually want. Your brain treats every possible loss like a threat to your survival. But once you can name it, you can start to outsmart it. When the fear of losing grips you, stop and ask, am I protecting something that's actually real? Or am I just scared of the sting of letting go? And loss isn't the only place where a single number quietly runs the show. Here's a quick one. Is the tallest tree on Earth taller or shorter than 1,000 feet? Now, without looking it up, what's your gut guess for its actual height? Whatever number you just landed on, that 1,000 tugged it higher. That's anchoring. The first number you hear becomes a magnet, and every guess after it quietly drifts toward it. It's why the store shows you the crossed out price first. $200, now only $99. Suddenly $99 feels like a steal. It's why the first salary number spoken in a negotiation usually wins. It's why an asking price shapes what you'll pay, even when it's ridiculous. So before any decision with a big number in it, drop your own anchor first. Decide what it's worth to you before you ever hear their number. Walk in with your figure and let theirs bounce off it. So your eyes, your beliefs, your decisions, all of it quietly bent. But the strongest pull of all comes from the people around you. 5 people on a busy sidewalk stop and stare straight up at the sky. What do? You look up too. Every time. You can't help it. That's social proof. If everyone's doing it, your brain decides it must be right. Once, that kept you alive. The herd runs, you survive. But today, that same ancient wiring is aimed straight at your wallet. Bestseller. Most popular. 10,000 people already bought this. None of it actually tells you the thing is any good. Only that others chose it. It's how an empty restaurant stays empty, and a packed one gets more packed. It's how bubbles balloon and how panic spread. Everyone quietly assuming that everyone else must know something they don't. So when you feel the pull of the crowd, stop and ask yourself one thing. If nobody else were doing this, would I still want it? If the honest answer is no, that isn't your choice. That's the herd. And the crowd has a close cousin, one that's even easier to obey. From the day we're born, we're trained to respect authority. The white coat, the title, the confident voice up on the stage. And most of the time, that's fine. Experts often do no more. But here's the catch. We obey them, even when they're plainly wrong. Patients will go along with a doctor's obvious mistake, just because of the coat. The experts miss almost every crash, and we still line up for the next prediction. The more confident someone sounds, the less we bother to check their work. You don't have to be rude about it. You just have to stay awake. When an expert speaks, ask the quiet question. What's their real track record? And what happens to them, personally, if they turn out to be wrong? Respect the knowledge. Just never switch off your own head. By now you might be thinking, that's an awful lot of bugs to keep track of. Do I really have to memorize 100 of these? No, because one single move handles almost all of them. Think back to the idea we started with. You don't win by being brilliant. You win by being a little less foolish. And you don't need 100 separate fixes for 100 errors. You need one habit, a pause. Almost every one of these traps works the exact same way. It's fast, it's automatic, and it feels like the plain truth. So the whole game is just to slow down at the right moments. Not for every tiny choice. Life is too short to agonize over which coffee. But for the big, rare, hard-to-undo ones. The job, the house, the investment, the person. There you stop and you run one simple check. What am I not seeing here? Where's the graveyard? What would prove me wrong? Am I clinging to something just because I already paid for it? And am I doing this only because everyone else is? That pause is the entire skill. A circuit breaker dropped right between the impulse and the decision. Now, let's be honest about what this actually looks like in real life. You're never going to delete these bugs. Even Dobelli, who wrote the whole book, admits he still falls for them. They're not going anywhere. They're part of the hardware. But that was never really the goal. The goal is just to know where your own mind lies to you, to feel that warm rush of certainty and get a little suspicious of it, to notice the too clean story, the tug of the crowd, the fear of the loss. You don't have to win every single time. You just have to catch yourself on the handful of decisions that truly matter. Because in a world running almost entirely on autopilot, the person who pauses and actually thinks quietly pulls ahead. None of this makes you broken. Your brain is just old software running in a world it was never built for. Survivorship, confirmation, the stories we tell ourselves. Sunk cost, lost the anchor. The crowd and the expert. They'll all keep whispering. Let them. You don't have to be the smartest person in the room. You just have to be a little harder to fool than you were yesterday. That's it. That's the whole art. Notice the shortcut. Take a breath and choose with your eyes open. Do that on the things that actually matter, and you'll think more clearly than almost everyone around you.